Tēnā tātou. My name is Panapa Eho, he uri aho no te tai rāwhiti, and I would like to begin by asking you all to close your eyes. Imagine you are sitting in your car. It's the middle of winter, it's raining, and it's cold. Turn to your left to the passenger seat, and there is your 7-year-old child drawing a house in the condensation on the window. She turns to you and asks, "Are we ever going to have a home of our own?" Now open your eyes. Aotearoa is in a housing crisis. And for many of you, you'll be privileged to experience the benefits of home ownership, which are well documented. But for more and more people, this is becoming out of reach. In New Zealand, we have 300,000 families that live in unacceptable housing conditions. 1 in 9 New Zealanders live in overcrowded homes, and 1 in 3 Māori children live in poverty. So with a 20-year career in and around housing, I have pulled together a passionate team over the last 3 years to create Kaenga Ho. Kaenga Ho is a whānau-centric finance mechanism focused on progressive home ownership for those that are priced out of access to the housing market. The products offered include rent-to-own and shared equity programs. This finance mechanism is not dependent on government funding or bank funding, so has the ability to have intergenerational impact. So who's in the Kaenga Ho whare? Our establishment board is made up of myself, having launched and led numerous for-profit, social enterprise, not-for-profit, iwi hapu organisations, including a listing on the New Zealand Stock Exchange. We have Ngā Peter Riley, who holds a number of executive and governance roles that focus on Indigenous business development nationally and internationally. And we also have Paul Gilbert, who's a business development specialist, having previously led a social finance company focused on housing, and is currently the CEO of Community Housing Aotearoa. We also have a number of strategic delivery partners that bring specialist expertise into the whare. Since the 1960s, there has been a decrease in home ownership throughout New Zealand, with an unproportionate impact on Māori home ownership. This, coupled with an increasing housing demand and supply shortage, paints a bleak picture for New Zealand's future social fabric. So what does the status quo look like? And why is it failing us? The vast majority of housing finance is provided through mainstream banks, which are focused on maximising profits for offshore owners. They are not customer-driven and do not focus on relationships. And for those that cannot access bank lending because they are deemed too high a risk, the only alternative is predatory lending companies. There are, however, a handful of organisations in New Zealand that focus on progressive home ownership. However, they are limited to how much they can scale and ultimately place their customers back into the system of profit-driven banking. So what does the market look like? Into tai rāwhiti, over the next 25 years, the future demand is around 5,500 new homes. Over the last 2 years, through word of mouth only, we've had over 1,000 inquiries for a rent-to-own type product. And over the next 5 years, we see ourselves being able to deliver more than 150 homes with a book of over $50 million, which represents about 5% of the market demand. Now, while Kaenga Ho has been developed to specifically address the housing needs of Te Tai Rāwhiti, it has been designed to be replicated throughout Aotearoa. So when we look at the national opportunity, over the next 10 years, we see it being rolled out in all 16 regions throughout Aotearoa and have a book of between 800 million and a little over $1 billion. So how does Kaenga Ho as a business model work? Impact investors are able to invest into Kaenga Ho through community housing bonds that have a set rate of return over a set amount of time. Kaenga Ho then provides finance to whānau to purchase healthy and affordable homes. And so what's different about Kaenga Ho? Its key features is that the financial model is underpinned by impact investors wanting to have a positive social environmental impact. It's based on relationships. It has a full wraparound support service for those that are engaged in the program. And finally, it incorporates an aroha fund, which provides a buffer for when life events happen with whānau customers to enable security of program completion. Over the last 3 years, we've built 80 plus whare in the Tapuwae region. We've already had $2 million invested in the development of the model, and we've already secured $10 million through community bonds. Over the next financial year, we're on track to deliver more than 40 whare into Tairāwhiti region. We're already beginning the rollout into Northland, so Tokoro and Hawke's Bay. And over the next 12 months, we'll be looking to begin the process of raising another $10 to $20 million in community bonds. So while the majority of this audience may be more VC inclined, Kaenga Hau has an ask for you. Please take the seed or the kākano of Kaenga Hau and share out through your networks for those that might be interested in having a meaningful impact for whānau throughout Aotearoa. He roto tēnā, huri nō te whare, ka nui te mihi, mauri ora.